Star Wars, take notes.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today just got done checking out Dune. Now, this is a film that I didn't have any expectations for. I thought it was the most interesting thing coming out this weekend, so I checked it out. I read the synopsis. It could be interesting. It probably is just dumb science fiction movie. Didn't really expect much out of it. Just hoping for a decent time at the movies. And holy crap, this thing blew me away. I have to mention that I don't know a lot about Dune. I didn't see the 84 movie, didn't read the book, didn't watch the series, so I don't know crap about this. Okay, I just went in to check it out and whoa, maybe I need to learn crap about this because this was a really interesting story, and just the movie, the way it was done as far as from cinematography, acting, music, everything was on point. I mean, I just completely immersed myself in this film within the first 5 minutes. All that being said, if you're a fan of this franchise, if you're a fan of Dune, well, you've probably already seen this movie, but there is a possibility that maybe they butchered some characters. Maybe there's some things you won't like about it. Being a fan, I can understand that because, I'm a fan of so many big franchises who just destroy characters, and people are like, why didn't you like it? It seemed awesome. Like, what? Did you see what they did to Luke Skywalker? And that's just one example. So certainly, fans of the franchise, I'm guessing will really love this movie, but I could be wrong on that. But as far as someone who's not that invested in Dune as a franchise or as a, the previous movie, the book or whatnot, you're just going to check out a sci-fi movie, I think you're going to love this film. Love the vibe. Love the tone of this movie. And I say Star Wars, take notes, because I got a lot of Star Wars vibes in this. Just from the overall story and the kid, the main character, who's kind of like the chosen one per se. He's training to fight, but he has some mysterious powers as well. And just the overall look. I mean, you can just see right there in the background. Rogue One, right? You see Rogue One, which is a movie I do like. I do have to say that. But overall, I just thought I got some Star Wars vibes in this, but I thought, except it's so much better than anything we've gotten from Star Wars in any recent years. And I'm like, damn, this is absolutely awesome. Like, the acting is so good. The script is solid, though. It's not just actors are talented. Some of these actors have been in Star Wars movies, like Oscar Isaac, except for I think he's better here because he has a better script to work with. There's not dumb jokes all the time. There's a couple of moments of humor, and it fits really well, and it's actually pretty funny, but only a couple. They're very few and far between are they, going to try to make you laugh in this movie. It's a serious movie. Friendships are built, stakes are high, and, it's just so epic. Just the way it's presented, the color palette in this movie, the way it looks, just so awesome. And you start in a planet that has water, kind of normal, but they're going over to this planet, and I'm not going to give any spoilers here, just this is the basic synopsis here, but they're heading over to this desert planet, and there's just some moments like the kid just touching water for the last time, and it's a meaningful scene. Nothing's thrown in your face too. There is some expository stuff, but very just to get you caught up a little bit. But they definitely don't hold your hand through this movie. You do have to pay attention or you're going to be completely lost. There are moments that I'm kind of like, what's going on now? Oh, okay, you kind of got to catch up. It's not the easiest film to follow, especially after one watch. So I will say that. I don't think that's the film's fault. I actually appreciate that they don't, insult their audience. They don't hold your hand and give you every single little detail that you need to know and have characters talking completely unnaturally just to give us information. There's a couple of times that characters talk and give us information, of course, so we know have some clue what the hell is going on, but it's not to an insulting level where it sounds completely unnatural. But the music in this movie is really on point, just incredible. The soundtrack's incredible. This is a film I would highly recommend checking out in theaters. Not just streaming or HBO Max, but check it out in theaters if you can, because the experience, I think, is going to be worth it. The story, I guess it's not the most interesting story ever written, but it's interesting enough that you're following along. The problem is that this is going to be part 1 of 2, and you kind of feel that because you're going along, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm also thinking like, shit, this thing's been going 2 hours. I don't feel like they're going to have time to really give a proper send-off. What's going on with this kid? Because I feel like the development needs to move along here. We're running out of time, because at that point I had not realized that there was going to be another film, but by the time it was wrapping up, it was so obvious. Okay, they're setting up a sequel. Then after some research, I found out, well, this is part one anyway. There's definitely going to be a sequel unless the movie tanks or something. There will definitely be another movie, and there needs to be. Which brings me to, I'm not going to call it negatives as much as just things that you might not enjoy about the movie, because it does feel like part one of two. Like, it didn't go where I wanted it to go, and it kind of cut off quickly. And, you know, the third act of this film that's supposed to be this, you know, you would think this amazing climax, it's not really. There is some fighting. There is some big moments in this. There's a couple of awesome fight scenes. I'm not saying that there's nothing there in the third act. You know, there is something. There is some, and the cinematography and the special effects are completely off the charts. But I'm just saying, as far as this kid, the main character, and some of the main storylines we're following, looking for something, and it just didn't seem like enough. But that's because there's more to come. There has to be more to come. And if there's not, well, this film's going to suffer for it, because as a standalone film, you know, it's not a masterpiece just because the story doesn't seem to really resolve itself that well. There's also a villain in this film who doesn't get a whole ton of screen time. He seems like he doesn't look powerful, but you feel like this guy's just a piece of crap. And in a way, you think he showed some of his power at some point, a pretty badass scene, but he didn't get a whole ton of screen time. There's also the Emperor, who I'm hoping that we'll get a whole lot more from him in the next movie. Because again, this movie suffers if it's just a standalone, because they just don't develop the villains enough. They don't, you know, they show them a little bit, they talk about them a little bit, but we don't get a whole lot of screen time from them, and that's not good. And so the last 30 minutes to 45 minutes do tend to just kind of slows down a little bit, and it kind of starts to become like, what's going on now? I mean, this has been amazing. This is awesome. Now it's time to let's go, man, bring it home. And they don't really bring it home because we're waiting for a sequel. And I didn't know that going in. And I guess it did say part one. I didn't catch that at the beginning. So I did not realize that until later on, until after the movie, till did the slightest bit of research before doing this review, just to have some idea what's going on here with this, you know, Dune story, with why did it feel that way? Oh, because there, you know, I already figured, okay, there's going to be a sequel. It was pretty obvious, or they plan to have one, or they hope to have one. And yeah, it's completely, this movie was made to have a sequel. It's half of the story from the book, and we'll get it, hopefully, the other half. It's also, there's not a ton of action. It's not like action packed. Don't get that mistaken. It's just, I feel like it's got a great tone, great vibe, great acting is just awesome, and a really great science fiction story. And I feel like if that second half, you know, hits a home run, then this could definitely be like an absolute masterpiece of, you know, a two-part science fiction little package there. So we'll see what the second part brings us. If it brings us anything, hopefully it happens, and I really hope so. Needs to happen. Again, great cast here. Jason Momoa, awesome, everyone. And, you know, the lead guy, our man here, homeboy behind us, I don't know his real name. The dude is awesome. Also, shout out to the mom in this movie, because she's amazing. I love the development of her character. I think her name's Jessica, and she's also got some insane powers that, you know, her son has some of that. Her son's also being trained as a warrior. There's just a lot of cool storylines. I don't want to spoil it, not going to get into it too much, but there are some interesting storylines. They don't all get developed enough, and that's, again, because there's going to be another movie. So you do feel like you got half a movie, and you're going to end the movie sitting there like, as for standalone film, as of now, this could get upgraded to a masterpiece, depending on how good the next version is, the sequel is. But as for this one, this movie is freaking awesome. Check this one out if you can, but just be warned, like, know who you are. Like, if you just need constant action and, you know, like, kind of complex storylines and having to listen to a lot of dialogue is something that, you know, you're not into, this may not be the movie for you. It could be boring to many. For many, you could be completely lost. I got lost at points in the movie, not gonna lie. I was like trying to, like, what the hell is going on? Who's this? What's with the fighting? Why are they attacking? What's going on? There are times I get a little lost, but I kind of figure it out as I go. And I think with the second watch, everything will be very clear. So just be warned on that. But overall, you know, if you love sci-fi, you love awesome visuals, you love awesome soundtracks, and you just feel like you need something epic, check this baby out. So you guys have a great day. Let me know if you've seen Dune and what you thought of it. Talk to you guys really soon. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It helps out a ton. We'll talk to you later.